Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jeremy Crazy 30 promotion of Pro Wrestling Sim. And overall, on February 8th, I was kind of going through, sometimes you go through Steam and look at other games, see what's out there and stuff, and then when other games have updates and everything, look at all that stuff with if you have multiple games on your account and everything else. But the game had an update, and it was February 8th, and you can find this on the main page in Steam, Pro Wrestling Sim. And the update is money updates, production updates. Bankruptcy is finally a thing, so you can go bankrupt and not happen to go to negative money, and it doesn't matter. It actually now made the game where it does matter if you have money or not. And it's added the ability for your company to go bankrupt, or I can buy out other promotions if they are in dire financial state. I've kind of looked at some of the stuff, and I'll show it in this video as well. You can look at other people's financial charts on the all promotions page. They've also added 2 marketing and back office type stuff. Both come with bonuses to attendance and viewership. Promotions will cut their production levels and release workers in order to cut costs when finances are looking bad. And then rebalance the network deals, production costs and worker contracts. Updated production rules, so instead of applying a multiplier to your own segment score, they cap your final show score. So we'll kind of see how that all implements within this video. It widens the criteria for when you're at war with another promotion, heighten the impact of losing a promotional war, optimize a lot of UI and back-end logic so the game should feel a lot faster and more responsive. Improve the performance of the next day cycle, that way it's a little faster with all the calculations and everything, and fix the auto set scripts, and fixed where buttons were clickable at the home screen, and then fixed where dead people appeared in the top workers in new game. I've not had I have not, so to speak, have occurred where someone has died within the promotion, either with the promotion or within the game. If I have, it's been a long time ago and I didn't realize it, but overall in general, to my aware, is maybe had someone that retired from the ring but not die. So that is the whole new updates overall on February 8th. Like I mentioned, this game is updating as much as this person who made the game, obviously, updates it. The person has said that they've tried to do it maybe once a month, but life happens. They're the only one running the show, and it may be like one every couple months. Yeah, I would say it's been stretched to maybe, if there is an update, it's been a consistent of one almost every month, but worst case it may be 1 to every other month, or even I would say the max 3 months. But overall, in general, I really haven't paid attention. I've just been kind of seeing the updates. So, and the person's been very responsive. They have a Discord channel, and they do answer on the Steam community thing, but to be way, way more responsive and getting your answers quicker. If you have any questions, you can always go on the Discord. Someone else may have had the same question that you've had, and it gets answered within that channel. So channels, or yeah, overall, like the little channel boxes of different categories and stuff. So we will get to the all promotions. So like it's mentioned, you're able to see their finances page as well, and what kind of promotion style, their child promotions, where it's located, and then their popularity status, their public image and owner, booker, what year they have been founded, and then they are broken down to categories of their state on where they are in the company, from lower card to main event. So they got 4 main eventers, 6 upper mid card, 8 mid card, 4 lower card, and then have your backstage staff, announcers, referees, and so on and so forth. Enhancement, talent, personalities, and then tag teams. You can see all that stuff of what's been implemented within that promotion. If you've set it for, you can either set it as manual, or manual meaning you control when you have events happening, or you can have the AI do it based off of population, and that's how it gets going too as well. So I kind of did AI for the other promotions besides me, and did mine, manual. So then when it comes to production, there's back office and marketing. So you could have local flyering, which is $100, and then back office. As company grows, so does the infrastructure required to run it. Accountants, legal, HR. Not improving your back office will result in your company being unable to grow. Each level will improve merchandise sales significantly if you're eligible to sell any. So, and everything has kind of reset itself. So, video and editing, I had that to good, which then, are you sure you want, because the 100,000 the implementation cost, which is like the upfront cost of it, and then it's 750,000 per month. And we're gonna cancel that for right now. This one, the writing, I'm not going to touch, because the talent writes their own segments for the time being. I'm not big enough to have a writer works with the talent, and then the writers write everything and everything else. So we could have state of the art, but I'm gonna go for good for that. So minus 100,000. No pyro. Stage and lighting, we're gonna go with medium. Or should we go high quality? We're gonna go high quality. brings it up to 55. Camera quality, we're going to go with, we'll do that with cutting edge for, or should we go excellent? We're going to go with, we'll just go with cutting edge. Some max, especially we're having title clash happening. Copyright free, no other employees. So this is 500 per month necessary to progress past 20 popularity and promotion. We'll do that. And then local paper ads, 500 increase to audience, attendance, and viewership. We'll do the local paper ads too as well. So overall, it will cost us $3 million per month for all of this, and then max show score will be 80%. Now for us, that will be pretty good for the time being, because we'll also have, the 70, 80, 90% challenges that we're supposed to hit benchmark anyway, with the $250,000 with the one popularity challenge that we've been hitting at a decent amount of times, and we'll just continue to try and grow. So now we've seen the marketing, we've seen the back office kind of things, overall in general, and then everything else is kind of just fixing stuff off of the updates. So we are going to simulate to our first event. This is a little snazzy too. Oh, yeah, a little poop. What's actually funny is you actually are working with this person currently, so I'm going to accept it. And you're gonna have a match with that person. And 2 people have signed with Impact. Eight. Have that pink noise. Oh. 1 second, you guys can't hear that because I have that audio turned off. My apologies. Now you'll be able to hear it. It's that little pink at the end. So, like I mentioned, I've already have these pre-booked, pre-planned, kind of making it a little fun with now usually of just letting it sim out, so to speak. Now it's kind of, I've chosen some things to go along with these storylines now, because with the game and everything, just trying to test things out and just kind of letting it sim out when it comes to the matches, but then also kind of realizing and also seeing on other people playing the game that it's based off of these stats. And so if you're going to have someone who's lower stat facing a higher stat, the higher stat is going to always win. And so to try and create that heat within the storyline is kind of what working on within this game, as I'm also creating stories within these promotions with these wrestlers with you guys in the game. So that's kind of what the fun part is of some people may play this game and they've already had it figured out, and then they create a series with it. Or with me, it's I'm creating a series, but I'm also working this game out, so to speak. Like, I know the general logistics of the game, of what's happening, but it's just the finer details I am working with you guys. So if you do happen to have questions to yourself, and as you're watching my videos, that they would get answered as I'm playing it along, while getting these kinks out and everything within the game. So we're going to go right into the start of the show, as it's already booked. And right away from the get-go, from Nola and Sarah, they have a 10-minute one-on-one match. And Sarah Conclaves was struggling for the breath at the end of it. Logan crowd were in love with it. The reaction made it even better. Nola, Skinner, and Sarah have decent chemistry as opponents, and Nola did the heavy lifting, and the DQ finish hurt the match. So Nola won off of a DQ finish, and Nola gained 0.2, and Sarah lost 0.1. The absolute calculated was 55% for the 100% crowd reaction. They had a 33% match quality with a negative 1-star match, and then the final score was 39%. So we have also Luca Gibson and Luca Barone. These two have been creating a feud with each other. On the first match that they had, Luca Gibson won, and then there was a brawl against each other, and they've just been kind of chattering it out ever so slightly, and they both gained 0.2 from it. And Luca Gibson makes his entrance with the 79%. Then he talks about Luca Barone with the 68%. And Luca Barone makes his entrance. Barone cuts a promo on Gibson. Then they both sign a contract. Then they stare down. So 51% was the final score of this segment. Then we have next a one-on-one matchup with Courtney Delaney and Barbara Page. These two tag teams are also in title clash for the Development Tag Team Championship match. The intimidating presence of Courtney Delaney added to the match. Barbara Page had a boost of her gimmick. The intimidating presence of Barbara Page also added to the match. The vocal crowd were in love with the segment, and Courtney Delaney gained 0.2, and Barbara Page lost 0.1. And the absolute value was 84% of the 100% crowd reaction, 56% match quality with a 1-star match, and then the final score was a 70%. Then we have the angle of Paige Martin and Courtney Delaney stare down Barbara Page and Amy Stone, and then the good looks of Amy Stone adds to the beat and kind of canceling out Barbara Page's -1 loss of popularity that she gains 0.1 with them staring down at each other, getting ready for Title Clash, the next event that these two face each other. Then we have Tatsuro and Riley. Tatsuro and Riley were both struggling for breath. The good looks of Riley, and added to the match. Vocal crowd, same thing. And then it didn't feel like anyone had the psychology knowledge to put a match together for 10 minutes. So that kind of hurt the match a little bit. Tatsuro won the match to gain point 2. Riley Maddox didn't gain anything. He lost point 1. We have a 59% absolute value calculation, a negative 20% match quality with a negative 5-star match, and then the final score of 19%. Then we got Romeo Mooney and Kaden Ochua. They both gained point 2. Romeo makes his entrance with the good looks of Romeo, and then Romeo cuts a promo on Kaden. His cocky gimmick added to it, the good looks of Romeo, and also the good looks of Kaden adds to it to have a final score of 95%. Then we got a 59% final score with a negative half-star match with the match quality of 40% with a 77 absolute value. Crowd reaction with 100%. Hattie versus Shoko. Hattie won the match. She gains 0.2 from it, and Shoko loses 0.1. Hattie had a boost of her gimmick. The good looks of Hattie also added to it as well. Then we have the star power from Shoko, and she did the heavy lifting of the match. And then final score of 59. Hattie did win. So it was a decent match overall. Then we got Taku Akita and Larry Norris. They both gained 0.2. Taku Akita makes his entrance. He talks about Larry Norris, and then he cuts a promo. Had a good start, but it looks like it had a weak finish with a 32% final score overall. Just trying to, put himself over the edge when it comes to this storyline of him and Larry. Then we got Will Cannon and Aaron Neri. And the result of Will Cannon did win the match. It didn't feel like they had a psychology and knowledge to have a match that long, causing it to fall apart as time went by. Aaron was struggling, and then the star power of Will Cannon added to it. Vocal crowd, same response. And Will Cannon popularity changes 0.2 he gained, and Aaron lost 0.1. We have an absolute value of 66%, match quality of 73%. With the 3-star match, and then a final score of 69%. Then we have the Elias duo with Bobby Nichols and Taylor Cardenas. The Elias duo make their entrance. They start cutting a promo on Bobby and Taylor. Then Taylor and Bobby make their entrance, and they just do a stare down as they are getting ready for title clash. And it seems like Bobby, Nichols, and Taylor, their star power added to all of the beats that were needed for the story beat. And it ended in a 79%. So Takagi and Amelia Bean had a decent match. They had a final score of 67, match quality of 70% with a 2.5-star match, and then an absolute value of 63% with the 100% crowd reaction. Takagi to make it easier for myself. Gained that point too, as she did win the match, and Amelia lost point 1. The star power of Takagi did the heavy lifting and also had a boost of her gimmick within the match, and the vocal crowd were love with the segment overall, so that stayed the same. Then we got Candice Mayer and Taylor Ashley both having interviews by Tamarius Dia, 5 minutes each at the end, with a 90% final score of having their input before Title Clash, as they will be in a match for a title with this heated kind of storyline that's been going up in percentage for the final score. And we are about to see what the final score is for the show, as this all mechanics have changed. Game point 6, and we had a max score of 80%. So with it being 80%, we get $500,000. And our production settings are limiting our growth. With better production, this could have scored 83. So it looks like we've made it to kind of the max, which is pretty good, and that we still gain 0.6. So with that being said, we have 2 extra a popularity boost, and then also putting 2 on any of the continents as well, since we scored an 80%. And then we'll go to the mail, and we got 500 with the attendance. So we had $5,250 with the 500 of selling out. So that is good news on that. We've gained 0.6, so we're at 8.6 on that. All of the other in America, we're at 2 because we gave them a boost. All the other ones are at 1. So we have 180%. So we've gotten a 2 boost for us, so we'll be at a basically 11, as it'll be a 10.6, and then we can add 2 or 1 to one continent and the other, but we will simulate to 13 days. And we got a title winner request. Should I accept it? I'll accept it. Because who knows, at Title Clash she could win it with heels and faces going against each other for the women. And our former employee has been called to AEW from Impact, because I had Impact and Ring of Honor as a child promotion for AEW. Now we have to simulate more days. Simulate up to the 23rd. And now we are at the main eventers one day before Title Clash. And we are going to start the show right away. And we have first coming up with Ryder Wood against Xavier Trevino. And Ryder was talking all that smack and he was saying, I can beat you both one-on-one overall, and he happened to not be able to, but who knows, it could have been a fluke, it could have been Ryder's not best day for him, and he may get a rematch, or he'd be wrestling them two together as a 2-on-1 handicap match. But the intimidating presence of Trevino added to the match. They were both struggling for breath. Ryder did the heavy lifting, and Trevino gained 0.2. Ryder Wood lost 0.1. And a absolute value of 60%, with a 52% match quality, with a half-star match, and then the final score of a 56%. Then we have an angle with the faces that run the place and Money is Life, with Jaime, Kevin, Naeem, and Henry. This is kind of them cutting a promo on, yeah, we should be able to win this match because they went against Nathaniel Williamson and they couldn't even get the championship title. So it's like, we should be able to take the title away from them. And then Jaime and Kevin come in, kind of do their verbal sparring match, as you may will, and it's kind of just like, yeah, we may have not won, but we still will beat you. We will take you down once and for all and try and look for the next best tag team to face us for the championships, since you guys can't do it, and if we win over you guys twice in a row, it kind of just shows that you guys aren't good enough for the tag team titles. Then we have Eileen versus Lila McConnell. The star power of them both added to the match, and Lila had a boost of her gimmick, the intimidating presence of Lila, and Eileen Bauer won due to a countout that hurt the finish of the match, and it didn't feel like anyone had the psychology knowledge, so that also hurt the match as well. But Eileen gained 0.2, Lila lost 0.1, a 52% absolute value calculation with the 100% crowd reaction, 36% match quality with a -1 star match, and 39% final score. Then we have Megan Pyers going to the owner, Marita, and is requesting in a match at Title Clash, and he was thinking, on the card of like who can be set up as, championships, kind of getting set like behind the scenes, because they haven't really said anything, and especially with, first it was Barbara Page and Amy Stone versus Courtney Delaney and Paige Martin. they're at Title Clash, but they don't know, not knowing like what kind of title that they're going for, even though they are a tag team and it's going to be a tag team titles, but they aren't really for sure if it was for a title or not. So overall, he was like, yeah, well, we'll give you what you want, and we'll make it official for you guys to have a match at Title Clash. And the title will be unknown until the day of. And Megan is, hyped on being able to be a part of Title Clash, and her opponent that she requested, Lily Martin, is her opponent that he agrees on for making a match for. So they all gain 0.2 from it and having a 77% final score. Then we have Ellen Garcia against Allison Ray, half of the Funny Duo. Ellen Garcia had a boost of her gimmick, the intimidating presence of Allison Ray added to it, and then the vocal crowd were in love with the segment. Their reaction made it even better. Psychology knowledge to put the match together. Didn't feel like they had it for that length of 10 minutes. 92% absolute value calculation of 100% crowd reaction. Then we had a 21% match quality with a negative 2.5 star match, and 56% final score with Ellen Garcia winning the match. Then we have Ellie Thompson and Rini Takahashi going at it with each other in a pull-apart brawl, because this brawl was so intense that they had to be pulled apart by all of the backstage staff. Ellie makes her entrance, cuts a promo. Rini makes her entrance. They stare down for a couple of minutes, then they start brawling out, and then all of the backstage staff had to come and save the rescue so no one gets injured, and it ends the brawl. 74% final score. Then we have Linnell versus Mackenzie Herman, faces and heels, and to avoid the double like sweeping over like the singles matches of being one-sided, that Linnell and Mackenzie were strong for breath and had a count-out finish that hurt the match, so Mackenzie won in a count-out. Linnell lost 0.1, Mackenzie Herman gained 0.2. She won the match. It was a 59% absolute value with 100% crowd reaction. Then we had a match quality of 65% with the 2-star match, and then a 57% final score. Then we had them cut a promo on we won the match, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you at Title Clash for the titles. Then we got Roderick Riley and Liam Bailey. These two have been having this strong storyline coming through of last event. Liam won in a BS finish, and the fans were not happy. And so we did a contract signing with Roderick and Liam, and it seems like The star power of both of them were added to both of them, and then the entrance of Riley and Liam added to their story beat, and it ended up very nicely at a 97% for the signing of the contract for the mid-card championship. And we have Nathaniel Williamson having his every event championship against Aaron Willis, as he's been wrestling one by one of everybody within the promotion as we kind of intertwine when it comes to storylines. Since it is the every event championship, he is a superstar that has to defend it every event. So the vocal crowd were in love with it. I feel like anyone had the psychology, and the DQ finish hurt the match. But he did successfully retain, as it was in a DQ. So Aaron Willis or even Flynn Allen disqualified the match for Nathaniel Williamson to successfully retain the title, and then he can move up in rankings, as he is right now the upper mid card, and he will be in the main event. So we had 100%, the 65% absolute value, a dud match. Kind of gives no match quality if there's not a star rating, and then a 50% final score. Then we have Flynn Allen after the match attacking Nathaniel Williamson, and Flynn Allen will be like, "Hey, I am coming for that title." And then Nathaniel was needed some medical attention, and it was just a way of him making sure he's not 100% for the match at Title Clash. Then we have a interview, so to speak, with Kofi, the champion, that he has an interview with Lucas Estrada about Daniel Jones, that is opponent. And then Daniel Jones kind of comes in and engages in a verbal sparring match, and then they stare down for each other, getting ready for Title Clash. We're going to end the show. We have another 80%. So our production settings are limited. Our growth, with better productions, this could have scored 81. So we have now $1 million we are adding to the pot of money, and we're also adding 4, not 2, but 4 points to all of the other regions, and then we're adding 4 to us in itself too. So we gain another 0.6. So we'll kind of round to the nearest whole number. And it is Title Clash, which I am not going to do in this video. It's going to be its own separate video. And we had 500, so we sold out for this show as well. $5,250,000. So we have 4 for a boost in other regions, and 4 for a boost for our own. But we're just going to look at finances real quick to see if we can see it. So we have 10,000 and 10,500, 4,000 so far when it comes to the venues, And then we've gained significantly with sponsorship money of $3,500, and we're kind of down a little bit when it comes to the staff, but it will kind of increase up, and $800 on the production, so that will increase in itself. But as of right now, we have $1 million to give back once this whole month is done for sure, and then the 4 points in each when this month is done after Title Clash. So everything's all set up. We're gaining more as we speak when it comes to popularity and everything else, and we'll see if there's any merchandise that was sold. We won't be able to see it until after Title Clash. So if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as I will be posting more of this. Drop a like, drop a comment for any suggestions that you may have, and have a good one.